The teasers dropped, the fandom went silent.
Totally silent.
And in an instant, the entire K-pop world was turned upside down by a single, seemingly casual photo.
It's always a casual photo, isn't it?
Always. I mean, you picture a K-pop performance, right? The stage lights are blinding, the pyrotechnics are perfectly timed, the idols are hitting every single mark with a synchronization that, honestly, it defies human anatomy.
It really does. It's
Yeah.
mesmerizing by design.
Exactly. It is the absolute manufactured picture of flawless perfection. But then, the lights go down.
Yeah.
And the reality of what it takes to manufacture that perfect, glittering image, the grueling, highly controlled, and sometimes incredibly dark reality behind the scenes, it rarely makes it into the glossy music videos or the curated feeds.
Because you're looking at a multi-billion-dollar global industry built entirely on this illusion of effortless perfection.
Right.
And maintaining that illusion requires, frankly, a terrifying amount of control.
Yeah. Welcome to Starscope K-Report. Join Eric and Minji as we ride the Hallyu wave, uncovering the biggest K-pop comebacks, shocking industry controversies, and major K-drama updates.
From internet-breaking rumors to historic chart milestones, we dive deep into the world of Korean entertainment.
And if you're a curious learner, someone who really wants to understand the hidden forces shaping global entertainment today, you are in the exact right place for this deep dive.
Oh, absolutely. Today's stack of sources is just fascinating. We're looking at a detailed academic paper from BYU exploring the quote-unquote dark side of the Korean pop industry.
Which is heavy, but so necessary.
Yeah, and we've got a slew of entertainment news reports, deeply opinionated Reddit threads, and this incredibly clinical YouTube analysis centered around one very specific viral moment. The video is titled, "Did She or Didn't She? The Truth Behind Kang Hyewon's Viral Post."
Which is such a massive headline story right now.
It really is. It's a diverse stack of sources spanning from, peer-reviewed academia to raw, unfiltered fan reactions.
Right, and that spectrum is totally necessary because this industry is complex. It is deeply rooted in both corporate strategy and fan psychology.
Our mission today is to pull back the curtain on that complexity.
Let's do it.
We want to unpack the extreme pressures of the K-entertainment industry. We'll explore the physical transformations demanded of these stars, the highly manufactured public personas they're basically forced to wear, and, crucially, how a new wave of fan advocacy might actually be changing this entire system from the inside out.
But to understand where the industry is going, we have to look at how this machine was originally built, right?
Maybe for sure. The BYU paper traces the origins of this specific idol system back to a man named John Hiromu Kitagawa.
Right.
He was an American-born Japanese man who really pioneered the modern Asian pop market.
Hey.
He had this vision for a very specific, highly lucrative type of performer.
Like a triple threat, basically.
Exactly. Someone who was simultaneously a singer, a dancer, and an actor, but, and this is the key, completely molded by the agency.
Manufactured entirely from the ground up.
Precisely. And that blueprint evolved into the modern K-pop machine we see today. The pipeline is just astonishing.
Right.
Recruiting agencies scour the globe, but they aren't looking for fully formed artists.
No, not at all.
They're heavily recruiting children, often between the ages of 8 and 12 years old.
Which is wild. So these kids are literally dropping out of normal schooling to enter these trainee programs where, according to the sources, a 15-hour workday is just the baseline.
Just the baseline.
They're practicing intense choreography and vocal drills until 2 or 3 in the morning, year after year, all just for a slim fraction of a chance to officially debut.
It is a complete sacrifice of a normal childhood.
Okay, but I have to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Go for it.
If you look at, say, Olympic gymnasts or elite figure skaters, they're also recruited as children. They train 15 hours a day, right? Isn't this just what it takes to produce world-class talent? Why is this considered exploitation rather than just elite conditioning?
Right, and that is the exact defense the agencies like SM, YG, JYP, all of them often use. But there is a distinct difference between building elite skill and systemic exploitation.
How so?
Well, with Olympic athletes, the ultimate goal is hitting an athletic peak. In the idol system, the goal is total corporate commodification. The BYU paper highlights this massive structural issue known as slave contracts.
Yes, I read about this. It's dark.
It's super dark. We have to look at the financial mechanics. When these kids are in training, the companies are racking up debt in their name. They charge the trainees for vocal lessons, housing, food, dance instruction, and often at heavily inflated rates.
And from the legal disputes detailed in our sources, these companies sometimes refuse to even disclose the exact amount of that running debt to the trainees or their families.
That's the trap. So when a group finally debuts, when they get that massive comeback and hit an all-kill.
Which, for anyone new here, an all-kill is when a song hits #1 on every single major Korean streaming chart simultaneously. It's a huge deal.
Exactly, it's massive. But Eve thanks her an all-kill. They might not see a single dime of income for years. They have to hit what the industry calls a break-even point.
Right.
They have to pay back all that undisclosed debt before they earn a profit. Athletes aren't usually stripped of their financial freedom or forced into crippling debt before they even turn 18.
No, they definitely aren't. And if the agency technically owns your voice, your image, and your financial future, it's not a huge leap to see how they claim ownership over your physical body and identity, too.
Yep.
There is a deeply unsettling story in our sources from an investigative program on NBC that perfectly illustrates this mindset even after a star's career or life is over.
Oh, this is the Kim Se-ron story.
Yeah. You're referring to the late actress Kim Se-ron, who passed away in early 2026. It is a chilling report. According to the investigation, a YouTube creator from a channel called the Garosero Institute was arrested for allegedly using AI to manipulate her voice after her death.
It's just so grim.
It's awful. The allegation is that an informant used this manipulated audio to claim she had dated top actor Kim Soo-hyun when she was a minor, and they then tried to use these fake recordings to extort money from Kim Soo-hyun's agency.
The audacity of the crime is just staggering.
And it gets worse. The informant allegedly shopped around different AI-generated versions of her voice, like audio samples.
Ugh, that makes my skin crawl.
Right. In one recording, the AI voice claims they dated. In another, it completely denies it. The informant literally messaged the agency saying, and I quote, "I just give you the materials, I get the money. If Kim Soo-hyun does well overseas, let's have him film a company ad for me for free."
Wow.
They were using a deceased woman's voice as a bargaining chip for a free commercial.
Let's look at the mechanics of why this happens, though. In the K-pop and Korean entertainment system, the idol's persona is legally copyrighted intellectual property owned by the agency.
It's literally an asset.
Exactly. When you spend a decade treating a human being as a tradable corporate asset, that psychological boundary in the culture just dissolves. That's how you get opportunists who view a deceased woman not as a human tragedy, but as abandoned IP, ripe for exploitation.
And wait till you hear what netizens uncovered next, because that complete erasure of humanity, the idea that your body and your image belong to the public for consumption, explains the intense pressure around physical appearance we saw in the sources.
Oh, for sure.
Which brings us back to that viral headline, did she or didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
The visual standard in K-pop is famously exacting, but it's more than just a preference. It's not just about looking good, It's about fulfilling a cultural mandate for visual perfection.
Right.
In South Korea, outward appearance is heavily tied to social mobility and respect, and idols are meant to represent the absolute pinnacle of that social standard.
And the scrutiny is so clinical. One of our sources is a transcript from a YouTube channel called Moncatcher, which literally analyzes the faces of K-pop idols to speculate on their plastic surgery.
Yeah, frame by frame.
Literally. The creator looks at former IZONE member Kang Hyewon. Now, she was considered an official visual of the group, which is an assigned position for the most conventionally attractive member.
Right, the visual position is a massive deal.
It is. And the video calmly and surgically speculates that based on pre-debut photos, she likely had double eyelid surgery, lip fillers, and possibly a rhinoplasty.
And the creator of the video goes out of their way to say they aren't judging her. They note that cosmetic procedures are just a reality of the immense pressure to be perfect.
But it still highlights the panopticon these stars live in. Every millimeter of their face is debated by millions of people.
Oh, absolutely. And the debate extends far beyond their faces.
Yes. Just recently, Kang Hyewon, who has now pivoted to acting, by the way, posted some casual summer photos wearing a fitted t-shirt and shorts. And immediately, viral rumors sparked among netizens that she had gotten a breast augmentation.
The internet caught fire over a simple photo in a t-shirt.
It's wild because it creates this damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. Her loyal fans, her bias defenders, since your bias is your favorite member, jumped in to protect her.
As they always do.
Right, insisting it was just a good bra or that she always had that figure. But the sheer volume of the debate, the fact that thousands of K-nets feel entitled to argue over the exact dimensions of her body, shows this inescapable focus on idols' physical forms.
Yes, relentless.
The industry forces them to be hyper-aware of their bodies, but the minute the public suspects they've altered those bodies, they are crucified for it.
And if you love staying updated on your favorites, make sure you're subscribed to Starscope K Report. We've got even bigger scoops ahead. Because that paradox, that is the core of the idol illusion.
Totally.
But the way this taboo is handled shifts dramatically depending on where you sit in the industry hierarchy.
Let's contrast Kang Hyewon's situation with veteran actress Kang Ye-won. We have an article detailing her recent appearance on the reality show My Little Old Boy.
Oh, this is iconic.
She showed up completely barefaced, wearing magnifying glasses, and she didn't just casually skirt around the topic of surgery. She bluntly admitted to having 7 plastic surgeries on national television.
Her roommate on the show literally joked to her, out of all the faces I've seen over the past 21 years, this one has the highest level of completion. Now stop secretly getting plastic surgery.
That is brutal.
I know. And Kang Ye-won just fired back totally unfazed that she only got her inner eye corner surgery because the roommate suggested it.
Okay, so I have to pause on that point for a second. If the industry demands absolute visual perfection and everyone knows they demand it, why is there such a massive stigma and relentless gossip when young idols like Kang Hyewon are suspected of doing exactly what is expected of them?
It's double standard.
Why the absolute secrecy for the young idols, but the veteran actress can just casually joke about her 7th face?
Because society demands flawless beauty, but it also demands the absolute illusion that the beauty is innate, effortless, and natural, right? If a young, active idol admits to surgery, it shatters the fantasy that they are naturally perfect, godlike beings. It reveals the factory floor.
That makes perfect sense. Kang Ye-won, being a veteran actress, she isn't selling a fantasy of pure, untouched innocence anymore. She's selling her established talent and her personality.
Exactly.
The young idols are still trapped in the fantasy phase. They are selling an aspirational dream.
And that fantasy extends far beyond physical appearance. When you are trained from age 8, you aren't just taught to sing and dance. You are assigned a heavily manufactured personality.
Like a literal character brief.
Yes. You might be assigned to be the shy machine, the youngest member of the group, or the brooding artist, or the quirky one.
And if the agency manufactures their bodies and their personalities, it's inevitable they try to manufacture their talent too. Let's look at the fierce Reddit debate in our sources from the Herpum Censored subreddit.
Oh boy. The Reddit threads are intense.
They really go hard. The thread is titled, "Giving Nothing Isn't Iconic." The original poster was going after Kang Hyewon during her time as an idol in iZone. They claimed she lacked stage presence, had blank facial expressions, and that she was, like, basically untalented.
Yeah.
The poster argued it was insulting to the trainees who worked harder on the survival show Produce 48, saying she took a spot from someone who deserved it.
Now, if you read that post in a vacuum, you might agree with the criticism,
Right.
but the context provided by other users completely reframes the situation.
Right, exactly.
Kang Hyewon was originally an actor trainee. She was signed to an agency that only managed actors, not K-pop idols.
She was sent to an idol survival show at 19 years old with virtually no idol training. She couldn't sing or dance at the elite K-pop level required.
But the fans fell in love with her underdog personality,
Yeah.
and they voted her into the final debuting group.
Which is the whole point of those shows, honestly.
Right. But then she was shoved into a synchronized pop star mold she was never designed for, forced to learn intense choreographies on the fly, while the whole world watched and criticized her for not looking natural.
And as soon as the iZone contract ended, she stopped being an idol entirely and successfully pivoted back to acting. We have a source noting her standout role in the drama Boyhood.
She was great in that.
She was. And netizens suddenly completely flipped their script. They praised her visual transformation, noting she dropped her heavy idol styling for a more mature, minimalistic actress vibe.
She finally stepped into a role she was actually suited for. But while she was an idol, she was trapped in a persona that didn't fit, being judged by standards she was never trained to meet.
And the pressure to maintain that perfect public persona across the board is immense. Every single interaction is scrutinized. And this intense PR pressure cooker isn't just limited to Korea. It's a pan-Asian entertainment phenomenon. For instance, looking at the Chinese entertainment sphere, our sources highlight a massive scandal involving actresses Guo Yuxin and Zhao Ye. A leaked audio recording allegedly caught Guo throwing shade at Zoe because they wore similar outfits to an event, muttering, "I wonder who's really using who for clout."
And the internet immediately exploded, dissecting their relative fame, analyzing red carpet photos, and tearing into the perceived jealousy.
But in the K-pop world, we have an even more dramatic example regarding Big Bang's Daesung.
Oh, this was huge.
He was on a YouTube quiz show and was asked to name the least necessary member of the iconic group 2NE1. He jokingly named Minzy.
Which, in the tightly controlled ecosystem of K-pop fandoms, is a cardinal sin. You do not insult another group, especially a respected senior or sibling group from your own agency.
The backlash was immediate and brutal. It was so intense that Daesung later invited Minzy onto his own YouTube show and literally dropped to his knees to apologize to her on camera.
Literally on his knees.
Yeah, saying he, quote-unquote, wasn't in his right mind. Minzy was incredibly gracious about it, but she admitted the comment felt like being hit on the head with a hammer. It just shows that one misplaced joke can threaten a veteran idol's entire reputation. Any slip of the persona is magnified 1,000 times.
Because the persona is the product. If the product is defective, if it shows jealousy or meanness or even just human exhaustion, the consumers revolt.
Right. And later in the deep dive, we'll talk about a twist nobody saw coming, how fans are fighting back against all of this.
Yes, because here is where the narrative in our sources starts to shift. Because those same consumers, the fandoms, they're starting to realize the sheer economic power they actually hold.
The BYU paper points out a massive structural evolution in how fans operate. Historically, the relationship between idols and fans was heavily parasocial, but mostly passive.
You bought the albums, you waved the light sticks at concerts, and you just consumed whatever content the agencies fed you.
The companies held all the power.
But social media flipped the script entirely. Fans are no longer just passive consumers. They are highly organized global networks.
Absolutely.
The paper specifically mentions BTS's Armingwai, who famously matched a $1 million donation to Black Lives Matter in just over 24 hours.
Yeah.
That shows sheer organizational muscle.
But more importantly for the industry itself, fans are using that collective voice to back idols in legal disputes.
This is the real game changer.
We are seeing a significant rise in idols filing lawsuits against their companies to break those exploitative slave contracts. They are suing over the excessive 15-hour practice times, the undisclosed debts, and the lack of income.
And in the past, doing that was basically career suicide.
Oh, yeah, you'd be done.
The company would crush the idol in court, blacklist them from television networks, and the public would just move on to the next shiny new group. But now, the fans are stepping in.
Wait, if the fans are educating each other on contract law, translating legal documents across languages, and organizing massive boycotts to protect the idol's financial interests, they aren't just a fandom anymore.
What are they?
It's collective bargaining. They're basically acting as a massive decentralized labor union for the artists.
That is exactly what is happening. Because these massive agencies, they rely entirely on fan consumption to survive. If a fandom decides to boycott an agency's merchandise or refuse to stream their next big comeback, the agency's stock plummets instantly.
We've actually seen groups successfully break out of abusive contracts, win their lawsuits, and establish their own independent labels because they knew their fandom would follow them.
Even if they had to change their group name due to trademark laws. The company can't hold them hostage anymore if the fans hold the wallet.
Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a KT update, because this shift is historic.
It is a gradual shift. And let's be clear, the industry is still incredibly grueling. We don't want to sugarcoat that. But the introduction of fan advocacy is a real structural change. The power dynamic is shifting from a strict monopoly held by the agencies to this complex negotiation between the agencies, the artists, and the fans.
It's genuinely empowering. So to summarize our journey today, we started in the dark reality of the idol factory, the origins of the system, the 15-hour days, the crippling undisclosed debts.
And the terrifying extreme of artists being exploited as AI commodities even after death.
Right. We unpacked the intense physical scrutiny, exploring the paradox of a culture demanding plastic surgery while shaming idols for getting it. We saw how manufactured personas trap young people in roles they aren't meant for, and how one wrong word can ignite a massive PR nightmare.
But we ended on a note of genuine evolution. The very fans who consume this media are utilizing their collective economic power to demand humanity and fair labor conditions for the artists they love.
And that is the most important takeaway for you listening today. Every time you stream a track, buy a concert ticket, or engage in a debate online about a viral photo, you are actively participating in an ecosystem.
Yeah, the way audiences engage directly impacts the human beings standing behind those polished screens. You aren't just a passive viewer, you are a participant in the market that dictates the boundaries of their lives.
Which leaves us with a final, slightly provocative thought for you to chew on.
I love these.
We love the glittering perfection of the K-pop stage, right? We love the breathtaking synchronization, the flawless visuals, the perfectly calibrated comebacks. But all of that is a direct result of the grueling, highly controlled factory system.
Yeah, it's tied together.
If fandoms successfully act as a decentralized labor union, if they dismantle the dark side of the industry and force agencies to give artists normal working hours, complete freedom of expression, and total autonomy, will that ultimately dismantle the very idle system that produces the synchronized, flawless groups the world fell in love with in the first place? Can K-pop remain K-pop without the factory?
It's a fascinating paradox.
Yeah.
We want them to be treated as human, but the industry was built on them performing like gods.
Something for you to ponder the next time the stage lights go up. You've been listening to Starscope K-Report, where Eric and Minji bring you the story shaping K-pop, K-dramas, and the global Hallyu wave. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.